The year 2025 has seen aviation safety frequently dominating headlines, leading to considerable public concern about the reliability of air travel. Reports of aircraft accidents have been constantly making headlines, painting a picture of a turbulent start to the year. This heightened media attention has fueled a perception among the public that plane crashes are on the rise. However, a closer examination of official data reveals a more nuanced reality. According to figures from the National Transportation Safety Board, the overall number of aircraft accidents in the first quarter of 2025 was actually lower than historical averages. Specifically, there were 256 aircraft accidents in Q1 2025, the lowest number recorded in the first quarter since 2014, contrasting with a 10-year average of 274 accidents for the same period. While individual tragedies have a profound emotional impact, the broader data suggests that flying remains statistically one of the safest ways to travel. Despite the overall statistical trend, the aviation world was profoundly shaken on Thursday, June 12, 2025, by the catastrophic crash of Air India Flight 171. This London-bound Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner, operating a scheduled service between Ahmedabad, India and London Gatwick Airport, tragically plummeted to the ground just moments after takeoff from Ahmedabad Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel International Airport. The flight was carrying 230 passengers, 2 pilots and 10 crew members, totaling 242 individuals. The flight's duration was tragically brief, lasting mere seconds. Radar data indicates the aircraft reached a maximum altitude of just 625 feet before losing thrust and descending rapidly. This extremely low altitude and immediate loss of control suggest a sudden and catastrophic failure, leaving virtually no time for the crew to implement emergency procedures or attempt a recovery. During these critical moments, the pilot, Captain Sumit Sabharwal, issued a Mayday call, signaling an immediate and dire emergency. Crucially, some reports indicate the Mayday call included the words, "no power," strongly suggesting a sudden and complete loss of engine thrust. Furthermore, videos from the scene appeared to show the plane in a relatively flat attitude climb followed by a slow descent, with the landing gear notably remaining down throughout its short flight. The failure of the landing gear to retract after takeoff is a significant observation, as gear retraction is a standard procedure to reduce drag and improve climb performance. This could point to a critical hydraulic system malfunction that affected multiple systems, or potentially a severe misconfiguration during takeoff. The plane then tragically slammed into the densely populated Meghani Nagar locality of Ahmedabad, specifically striking the BJ Medical College campus, including a medical college hostel and its canteen complex. The impact was devastating, culminating in a massive explosion of fuel. The human cost of this disaster was immense. Of the 242 individuals on board, 241 perished. The tragedy extended far beyond the aircraft itself, as the crash site, a residential area and medical college, led to significant fatalities on the ground. Confirmed reports indicate 33 deaths on the ground, including young medical students, doctors, their families and local residents. This brings the total confirmed death toll to over 270 people, marking it as India's worst single aircraft disaster. The scene was horrific, with most bodies charred or mutilated, making identification extremely challenging. Authorities faced the grim task of identifying remains, resorting to collecting DNA samples from hundreds of relatives. A total of 319 body parts were sent for DNA matching, and 219 DNA samples were collected from relatives at BJ Medical College. Amidst the widespread devastation, one extraordinary story emerged, that of the sole survivor Vishwashkumar Ramesh, a 40-year-old British national of Indian origin. Ramesh was seated in seat 11A, a window seat located in the first exit row of standard economy. He recounted the terrifying moments. After takeoff, after 5 to 10 seconds, it seemed like the aircraft was stuck, he told Indian national broadcaster DD News, adding that green and white lights came on inside the plane before the impact. He described waking up amidst debris, realizing he was alive, unfastening his seatbelt, and forcing himself out through a broken door, escaping with a burnt hand. While his seat near an emergency exit has led to public discussion about safest seats on an aircraft, aviation safety experts caution that each accident is different, and it is impossible to predict survivability based on seat location. Ramesh's survival remains an extraordinary testament to both chance and his immediate, decisive actions. The Boeing 787 Dreamliner, a wide-body twin-engine aircraft, was introduced into commercial service in 2011, with over 1,000 aircraft delivered worldwide. It was heralded as a revolutionary aircraft, known for its advanced composite materials, fuel efficiency, and enhanced passenger comfort. For over a decade, it maintained an impressive safety record. For 16 years of operation, the 787 Dreamliner had maintained an unblemished safety record, notably with no fatal crashes or hull losses. The crash of Air India Flight 171 shatters this record, marking the first time a Dreamliner has been involved in a deadly accident resulting in the destruction of the aircraft. This fact alone places immense pressure on investigators, Boeing, and the entire aviation industry to understand precisely what went wrong. While the 787 itself had no fatal crashes prior to AI171, its early operational history was not entirely without challenges. Notably, in January 2013, the US FAA grounded all 787s due to problems primarily caused by its lithium-ion batteries. Furthermore, from 2019 to 2022, significant quality control issues led to production slowdowns and an almost complete halt in deliveries. Adding to the specific concerns for AI171, whistleblowers had reportedly been raising safety concerns over the Boeing 787 Dreamliner for years. More critically, the specific accident aircraft involved in Flight 171, a 12-year-old Boeing 787, had a previous history of electrical and mechanical malfunctions, especially with the flaps functions and other unknown electrical problems the pilots had experienced on many previous flights. This pre-existing history of issues will undoubtedly be a critical focus of the current investigation, raising serious questions about maintenance practices, airline operational decisions, and regulatory oversight. Aviation investigations hinge on the black boxes, the digital flight data recorder and the cockpit voice recorder. These crucial devices, designed to withstand immense impact and fire, were successfully recovered from a rooftop near the crash site within 28 hours of the tragedy. The intact retrieval of these recorders is a significant breakthrough. The flight data recorder records thousands of parameters, while the cockpit voice recorder captures all audio within the cockpit. Aviation safety consultants such as Jeff Gazzetti, a former crash investigator for both the U.S. NTSB and Federal Aviation Administration, have highlighted several immediate areas of focus. First, wing flap settings. Investigators will meticulously examine whether the wing flaps were set correctly for takeoff. Mistakes in data logging, such as inaccurate information about outside temperature or the weight of fuel and passengers, could lead to incorrect flap settings. Speculation from videos showing the landing gear remaining down and a cloud of dust on liftoff could indicate a flapless takeoff, a known cause of immediate, catastrophic crashes. Second, engine power. A primary focus will be on whether the engine lost power. The Mayday call reportedly included the words, "no power," and experts are already suspecting either a dual engine failure or a severe bird strike as potential causes. Third, cockpit alarms. Investigators will analyze if alarms were sounding inside the cockpit and if so, how the flight crew responded to them. Fourth, crew data logging. The accuracy of the crew's data logging, particularly regarding the hot outside temperature and the precise weight of fuel and passengers, will be scrutinized as hot conditions can significantly extend takeoff rolls and impact aircraft performance. Finally, the observation that the landing gear remained down throughout the short flight is a critical piece of evidence, leading to speculation about a hydraulic issue or perhaps a pilot error. The investigation is not looking at isolated factors but a complex interplay of potential issues. It is rarely a single, simple cause but often a chain of events, compounding factors, or a combination of human error and mechanical failure. The challenge for investigators is to meticulously piece together how these elements interacted to uncover the full sequence of events. While Air India Flight 171 stands as the deadliest aviation accident of 2025, it is important to contextualize it within the broader landscape of aviation incidents this year. The year has seen several other high-profile crashes, particularly in the United States, which have contributed to public anxiety and media attention. On January 29, a mid-air collision near Washington, D.C. involving a commercial jet and a U.S. Army helicopter killed all 67 people aboard, making it the deadliest U.S. aviation disaster in nearly 25 years. Just 2 days later, a medical transport plane crashed in Philadelphia, killing all 6 on board with mechanical failure suspected. And in early February, a commuter plane went down in Alaska, killing all 10 people with harsh weather conditions considered a major factor. Despite these tragic events, aviation experts and official data indicate a nuanced reality. The overall number of incidents in 2025 is actually consistent with, or even lower than, previous years. This highlights a crucial disparity between public perception and statistical reality. Beyond individual accident causes, several systemic challenges are being discussed as potentially impacting global aviation safety, prompting calls for comprehensive preventative measures. These include a critical deficit in air traffic controllers and a significant pilot shortage, exacerbated by the pandemic and retirements. Concerns are also rising about aging infrastructure, with outdated equipment and insufficient funding for maintenance. Lastly, the increasing frequency of severe weather conditions is emerging as a growing concern, impacting existing air safety measures. The crash of Air India Flight 171 on June 12, 2025, stands as a profound tragedy, claiming over 270 lives and marking a somber first for the Boeing 787 Dreamliner. Its rapid descent and devastating impact underscore the sudden and catastrophic nature of the event. The ongoing investigation is meticulously examining every detail, from the decoded black box data and the aircraft's maintenance history to the crew's actions and environmental factors. The pursuit of truth in this complex investigation is paramount. The findings of this investigation will be crucial not only for understanding this specific tragedy but also for informing future aviation safety measures globally. Accountability for any negligence, whether in maintenance, operations, or regulatory oversight, is essential to ensure justice for the victims and to prevent similar incidents. The aviation sector, while statistically maintaining its standing as one of the safest modes of travel, faces a continuous imperative for vigilance, strategic investment, and unwavering accountability. Addressing the identified systemic issues through comprehensive strategies in workforce development, infrastructure modernization, and adaptive operational protocols will be crucial for enhancing safety and reliability in the years to come. The events of 2025 serve as a stark reminder that aviation safety is a dynamic and evolving challenge, demanding proactive engagement and collaborative efforts from policymakers, industry stakeholders, and the public alike to ensure the continued integrity of air travel. From the orbit of understanding, it's clear that while each aviation tragedy leaves an indelible mark, the relentless pursuit of safety is a constant journey. The lessons learned from Air India Flight 171, and indeed from every incident, propel the industry forward, often through painful but vital introspection. As the investigations continue and the story of Flight 171 is fully uncovered, it will undoubtedly contribute to the vast body of knowledge that keeps the skies safer for us all. Thank you for watching. If you found this in-depth analysis valuable, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more content that explores the critical events shaping our world. Stay safe and we'll see you in the next one.